Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So it's Friday, August 15th. It's about 10 after 8. I wanted to do a reading on Governor Gavin Newsom. It's no secret, he wants to take a run at the Oval Office in 2028. And he's been positioning himself for this for years. And he is now taking a lead role with the Democratic Party, pushing back on Donald Trump. He recently put out a tweet on X, and he did it in a Trumpian style, which I'm paraphrasing, but basically he said, Trump has 24 hours to respond to Governor Gavin Newsom's demands about redistricting, and if he fails to meet the deadline, there will be a major announcement coming out regarding Governor Newsom's next actions. Thank you so much for your attention. And he did it exactly in the style of Trump. It was in all caps on X. And obviously he's mocking Trump in his style. He's also was trolling Governor Abbott as well about basically saying that Governor Abbott rolled over for Donald Trump when the Trump administration asked him to redraw district lines. And Fox News host Raymond Arroyo was a guest on the show, and he took issue with Governor Newsom's taunting of Governor Abbott, especially about the rolling over, because Arroyo is reminding viewers that, Governor Greg Abbott is wheelchair bound, and Newsom's comment about him rolling over was ableist. Well, first of all, saying someone rolled over, and that's been an idiom that's been around for a long, long time. So there's nothing to be said about that. Sorry. And I guess Fox News had asked Newsom's office about, if they wanted to make a statement about what Newsom had put out there about Abbott rolling over. And his communication director put this response out. It's, quote, "How woke of you to ask. I'm sorry Greg's feelings were hurt. Poor guy. I hope he recovers." And of course, the folks on Twitter were just having a field day with it. Basically saying, Trump would never make fun of someone with a disability. I think there might have been a Medal of Honor recipient or something like that was in a wheelchair, and Trump didn't want to take a picture or something with him because it wouldn't look good. And other comments are like, who's the snowflake now? So on and so forth. So it's a situation where the Republicans are totally okay dishing it out, but they are not okay taking it. And Gavin Newsom may have hit on something here. They got an idea during the campaign in 2024 when they knew they struck gold with the term weird, when they're saying, what the Republicans are doing is weird, because the Republicans couldn't come back from that. And they started going, that's a mean thing to say. How you shouldn't say that. That's not a nice thing to say. It's just like, it's so ironic because all the crap that they say, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, all the lies and all the insults they put out there, but they can't handle a simple schoolyard taunt about being weird or that they're acting weird. And so it looks like Gavin Newsom's taken that ball and he's running with it. So let's take a look at the energy around Gavin Newsom and this new strategy, and is it going to pay some benefits for the Democrats? I mean, it's amusing as hell, but is it going to be effective? So entertainment purposes only. Let's look at the energy around Gavin Newsom and his messaging, and how effective is this going to be? Okay, so we got the Four of Cups. Right now, this can be taken two ways. The Democrats have not been happy with their approach, and now they are trying a different approach. What this more likely means is they're observing the Republicans, and the Republicans they're emotionally very unhappy with Newsom's approach here. They don't like being taunted. It's the overly sensitive bully who's okay tramping all over other people's feelings and emotions, but as soon as you do it to them, they just get all sad and hurt. The challenge is the fool. It's a new approach. It's a new path. It's a new way of doing things. This is certainly not the way the Democrats have done it in the past. They've always tried to take the high road, especially over the last 10 years. And frankly, normally that should be enough, but it's not enough with MAGA. MAGA, you have to fight fire with fire. The energy underneath it is the Wheel of Fortune. We're not sure how effective this is going to be. I guess it would help if you saw the cards, right? I wish Dave was here. So foundation of the reading, you've got the Four of Cups, not being happy with the offers that you've been given in the past. The Fool is, let's try something different. And we're not sure how this is going to work out. In the past, you've got the Nine of Wands. These are all the battles, all the actions that have been taken, trying to come up with some strategy that will land. Not only resonate with the voters, but get your truth out there and put the Republicans on their back, on their heels, if you will. Current energy is the Four of Wands. People celebrating. There's a lot of folks that are happy that the Democrats are finally starting to fight back. It's Kamala said, when we fight, we win. Well, there hasn't been a whole lot of fight. And now we got someone that's at least throwing the troll back at the Republicans. Overarching energy is the Empress. This could reap a lot of benefits. This can grow. This can bring a lot of, this can bear a lot of fruit, if you will. Lesson be learned, Six of Wands, victory. You got to do apparently you got to do what it takes to win. You can't always, if the other team is not going to play by the rules, it's damn difficult to win if you're following the rules. So sometimes you've got to fight fire with fire. Outcome is the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of hard work that needs to be done, but you're starting to bring things of value. You're starting to bring the information to light. The people are starting to see that you're working, that you're fighting for them. And I think that's what the Democratic voters are looking for, is someone to stick up for them, someone to push back, stop rolling over and doing nothing. So it's a positive, even though you got the Wheel of Fortune underneath, that's like, okay, well, we don't know in the long run if it's going to be effective, but in the short run, at least, people are seeing that Newsom is starting to work on this. And he's starting to show results. Let's see. How are the Republicans feeling about this? Is this going to cause them concern? Is this concerning to them? Okay, we've got the government, Hierophant. It's all about the government. We're in charge. This is about seven of Pentacles. I'm taking this two ways. One, you're reaping what you're sowing. If you're they've been sowing this for 10 years now. And now they're on the other end. They're on the receiving end and they're not happy about it. The other thing is for the last 10 years, the Republicans, they haven't legislated a whole lot. They got their big, beautiful bill passed, but that wasn't even through bipartisan legislation. They've just basically been out there trying to make headlines and getting social media clicks. They haven't actually done anything. Five of Swords is a clarifier. No one to fight, no one to walk away. Win at all costs. High Priestess is basically trying to understand what's going on here, because they're basically they can only reveal so much because if they've been taunting and carrying on for the last 10 years, and now it's being turned on them, and they're not exactly sure where to go with this information. What do I do with this? And now they're going to have to start having discussions on how they're going to proceed going forward. This is also a collaboration card. I mean, if you want it to stop, if you want the fighting to stop, you're going to need to start working together. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as Trump is sitting in the Oval Office, that's not going to happen. They're going to do what they're going to do to keep dear leader happy because they don't want to be primary. They want to stay in power. All right. How is this going to resonate with voters between now and the 2026 midterm elections? How will voters resonate with this? Especially the Democratic voters. Will this get Democratic voters to actually show up? I mean, there's a lot going on to really annoy the voting population out there. Take your pick of of issues that Trump has been and Project 2025 have been throwing out there. But is that whole combination of outrage plus Gavin Newsom's approach, is that going to get the Democratic voters out en masse in the 2026 and start flipping the script here? Foundation of the reading is 9 of Pentacles. You can enjoy the finer things in life, but you have to earn them. Nothing is given to you. Well, unless your last name is Trump, right? But, you have to work hard for the things that you really value. The Cross is the Queen of Wands, but you have to do the work. You want to enjoy the finer things in life, you got to put in the work. You got to take your actions. And the energy underneath it is Judgment. Show people who they are, show people who you are, and get them to commit to one side or the other. They need, it's up to the, Gavin Newsom could go out there and troll and share his truth, but the voters need to respond to that and let their votes be known. In the past, you got the 10 of Wands. It's just a lot of hard work, a lot of burden trying to get this messaging across, getting actions across that are valuable, and get this thing across the finish line. Current energy is the 8 of Cups. This is they're walking away from the decorum that the Democrats have normally stuck to. It's like, you know what? We need to give up on always playing by the rules and being the nice guys. It's time to walk away from this, and it's time to fight. Try a different approach. Overarching energy is the Queen of Swords. Do you want, this is all about being accountable for your actions, and it's a combination with this trolling. They're showing and demonstrating the Republicans that this is what you do, and this is how people feel when you do this. But it's also, hey, you brought this on yourself. You decided that this was a rule that you could break, so we're just doing the same thing you're doing. And it's just. You can't argue it. This is the lesson to be learned. Live by the sword, die by the sword. If it works for you, if it's just for you, it's just for us. And right now, we don't see another way out of this. This is how we're going to handle this going forward until you give us a different path forward. So how are the voters going to react? Gavin Newsom and the Democrats are going to put their truth out there. It's just, you got your Judgment and the Justice card. Show us what you believe in. Do you believe in justice? And, as a voter, you have a choice. Even if you are an elephant, you have a choice. Take off the blindfold and go for the truth. What is your truth? That's what I'm getting out of this. And I got Punky's griping at the door. He wants to come in the kitchen. Okay. So it seems like we're going to see more of this. It's a little bit, it's kind of fun right now, but at the same time, it needs to be effective, not just fun. All right. I'm going to change this up I'm going to change gears here a little bit. Stand by for 1 second. I love my cats, but damn, they can annoy the crap out of me sometimes. This is like the second or third time I've had to record this video. Last time I was recording, Kitten just jumped on the table and just absolutely killed the momentum I had. And fortunately, Punky decided to interrupt, but I was between readings. So it wasn't so bad. It's equally aggravating, but at least I didn't have to start over a fourth time. Now Kitten's at the door demanding to come in. And you can wait. Yeah, you can wait. So I want to do one more reading. I want to look at Melania Trump and Hunter Biden. So Hunter Biden basically was saying that Epstein was the one that introduced Melania to Donald. And Melania is having an absolute conniption about it. She's threatening to sue Hunter Biden for $1 billion for emotional distress and damaging her reputation. Hunter Biden, in his defense, he's not making this up. He's quoting other sources that have made this claim. And I think at the same time, it's just Melania is a public figure, and she would have to actually prove damages. And I think Hunter is having some fun with this. He probably knows about how far he can go with this. Trump has been suing everyone and their uncle, and unfortunately having some success because everyone's sort of knuckling under and settling out of court. Biden doesn't seem to be willing to do that. He's going to speak his truth, and Melania is unhappy about it, and Donald, I'm sure, wants to sue him, and Hunter's like, bring it. So let's take a look at the energy of it. First of all, is Hunter Biden did Jeffrey Epstein actually introduce Melania to Donald? Okay, so let's see. Entertainment purposes only. Did Epstein actually introduce Melania? Oh my God! So Libby did a reading on this, and this was this was the main card that she pulled on this, because she made a comment. It's just like, oh my God, I'm focusing on the old guy. So it's basically, did Epstein introduce Melania and Donald? It could be. I mean, here's this old man who's got lots of money, and here's the young lady that we want to have you meet. And this is a match made in, well, what's the opposite of heaven? Hey, you two are a perfect pair. And you can celebrate your nuptials together. And then the Five of Pentacles. But, if you don't want to party with Donald, you could just go back to Ukraine and to a nice Ukrainian winter. I guess it was not Ukraine, Slovenia. Basically, you can stay out in the cold, or you can come in where the money's at. And what did she do? She followed the money. It's so funny. I'm totally willing to believe Donald's story and Melania's story on how they met, because she was a model and there's some guy that introduced them. But those are kind of interesting cards when you're asking, did Epstein really introduce them? Because that's not a no. That is not a no. How is this going to play out, Hunter Biden and Melania? What do we need to know about this? What do we need to know about this going forward? Just entertainment purposes only. What do we need to know about this accusation that Epstein introduced him, and that Melania is upset about it? I mean, the problem is that if they want proof, can Hunter Biden provide proof, right? So what do we need to know? King of Cups, it's all about being emotionally mature. Page of Swords, know when to swing, know when to take. Swing at the pitches that you can hit, and let the ball pass for the stuff that you should let go by. And I think I was watching Legal AF, and maybe Popak was talking about it, but this is going to be kind of a nightmare scenario for Trump, because Trump swings at everything. And this may be one of those things where there are some very rich oligarchs out there that are like, let this thing go. We don't want this information out there. There might be compromise out there that impacts other people. And Trump's out there swinging at everything. You've got the Seven of Cups, the illusions, delusions, lack of ethics, Queen of Wands, a lot of actions happening, a lot of things behind the scenes perhaps, and then the Hierophant about the government. This could be like lots of lawsuits going on, and how is this impacting the government? So what do we need to know? It's probably better if you were mature instead of acting immature. Don't believe everything you see. There's a lot of actions that have happened and will happen that will impact the government. The government's going to be impacted by this. How is the government going to be impacted? What do we need to know about that? There's secrets out there that have not yet been revealed. And when people see these secrets, if these secrets get revealed, the redcoats are going to turn and run. And then we're going to have someone's going to have to make a peace offering for this. Interesting. Okay. There might be some fire under this smoke. Yeah, like I said, I was listening to Libby's reading this morning when I was at work, and I found it interesting that she felt that there was something there. And then I was watching Popak, and he felt that this is something that is probably the oligarchs are probably telling him to back off and let this thing die. And I'm getting similar cards. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. It's, entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get sued. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Dave and I will do some readings tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be of much higher quality than this one here. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll wake you up at midnight with a new one. Leave a comment. I read them all. I respond to many. And I just want to give a couple of shout outs here to Joni Johnson, who made a very generous contribution to this station. Thank you so much, Joni. We'll get you a secret card. Yes, 3 of Cups. Let's party with Joni. Thank you so much. Dave, I guess that means Dave and I need to buy a beer with that contribution. Thank you so much. And then Daily News wanted a shout out. Let's see. It never got a shout out on Romper Room. Yeah, that's what I remember. So Daily News, here's your shout out. Thank you for watching our channel. We got our eyes on you. And now you don't have to feel like you're left out in the cold because Miss Marianne didn't give you a shout out. Leslie Yurgu, thank you, Leslie, made an absolutely generous donation to the channel, wishing Dave and I a happy birthday. The Chariot, thank you so much. We're keep moving forward. Hopefully got a lot more years to go. Linda Myville also made a very kind contribution. Thank you so much, Linda. Yes, King of Swords, let your truth out there, Linda. We truly appreciate it. And then Robin Davis, who, thank you, Robin. Robin made a very kind contribution to the channel, one for me and one for David. So we each got our own gift for our birthday. Yay! You know how many combination gifts we got growing up? We almost never got individual gifts. So thank you so much. You probably didn't realize that there was a way out, but yes, you have found that there is a way around the whole twin gifting. Because Dave and I, man, we never got individual gifts. And then Maureen O'Brien, who also made a kind contribution. And that is the end of the contributions. Thank you so much, Maureen. Dave and I truly appreciate you. And thank you for everyone that's... and I got one more. Sorry, one more from Linda from Virginia, who also made a very kind birthday contribution to us. You get the 7 of Pentacles. Thank you so much. We will invest it wisely. Get fruit for the future. And then for the rest of us, we got the 10 of Wands. Yeah, we're all under a lot of burden right now. We've got a lot of actions that need to take. Let's just hang in there. We will get through this. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, folks. Bye.